Now then, boys, how we doing? Just thought I'd share my thoughts on a recent bit of news about Larry Wheels. Now, if you don't know who Larry Wheels is, then you're clearly not in the fitness space, but I'm imagining if you are in the fitness space, that's why you're seeing this video. So you probably know who he is. He is a powerlifter / bodybuilder who is very successful on YouTube and other platforms, and very successful as a businessman and creator in general. So just before we go into this bit of news, kind of wanted to set some things out about my opinion on him anyway before this. So I think it's really good that he's open about steroid use, and he's one of the most prominent people that is open about steroid use. Now, there's always the argument to be had around, is it good that he's open about it? Is it good that anyone's open about it? Is it actually normalizing steroid use? That's a fair argument. There's a fair argument to be had either way. But I personally think it's good, because I think that people should know the truth about the people that influence them, and it gives context to the things that they see online, and it helps them understand what the realities of certain things are. So I think that's good. I also think that he is a genetic specimen, and what I mean by that is there's not a lot of people that can do powerlifting to the level he has. I mean, just that alone, right? Just that alone. Not a lot of people are ever going to achieve that. And then also to be like successful to a fair degree in bodybuilding. I mean, he's not as good in bodybuilding as he is at powerlifting, but to be able to do both in some capacity is incredible. So the genetics to do those two things are extremely rare. Then not only is it the genetics that's rare, but it's the will to do those two things, both very hard sports. And so yeah, fair play to the guy. Just set the background there. And actually, as a person, he does come across as someone that's kind of down to earth, and I think that's, or he seems that way. And I think that is what actually, other than the spectacle, is what enganders so much support from people. I think people like him for that, for his character, and also for his achievements, of course. But yeah, a large part of it is also just because he comes across as somewhat relatable. So it's very sad when someone that is so looked up to has problems in their life. And you know, famous people, influencers, they deal with this in different ways. Some people keep it all private, and some people are just super honest about it. Larry Wheels is choosing in all areas to be honest about it, and I don't know if that's always good for him. But what's recently just happened is another case where I think that it is good that he's talking about it. Because I think Larry Wheels represents a lot of people's dreams, right? If you're into powerlifting, you look up to him. If you're into bodybuilding, you look up to him. If you are trying to make a career in the fitness space, you look up to him because he's been successful in that area. There's a lot of people that I don't want to like make out that he's some role model, because I don't think he's trying to be a role model, but the fact is people are influenced by him, and they almost, I think people would generally say that he's made it in a lot of different areas, and they imagine that success for themselves, right? And they have a certain idea. They have an idea in their mind about what it's like when somebody in these spaces, makes it, so called. And this recent news, I think, will shatter a lot of people's understanding of what it's like at the top, you might say. So, what's come out? So, I couldn't believe this the first time I saw the title, but basically, he's a adult content addict, right? And people are going to think, oh yeah, well we've all done a bit of that, right? We've all been on the sites or whatever, not necessarily an addict. Like it's deep for this guy. We're not talking about just scrolling on a few videos and, you know, maybe a couple times a week or whatever you deem to be a normal amount. I'm talking the guy's spending all his money on cam girls, on things of that nature, right? And I mean, we're talking 5 figures a day. That's the report. That's what's been reported. I don't know how true that is. I think he's actually said some things himself about just how bad it is. He's made his own video. But what the hell, man? I mean, who would have expected that from someone that we all think has made it, right? In the specific way that he's made it, right? I mean, he is making success from his physique, which a lot of, I don't know, younger men would see, oh, well, if you've got a physique like that and you're super famous and you're super rich, why the hell would you need to watch adult content, right? that was my reaction, to be honest, because I was just like, how this guy cannot be struggling to get laid, right? There's no way. Yeah, he must have plenty of options. And I still think that that's true, but I think what this shows is that this kind of addiction can affect anyone, and it's not something that success can make go away. It's not something you imagine of a person of that level of success engaging in, at least not at that level, right? I mean, many people get into these sorts of realms, the fitness realm, the aesthetics realm, because of they want to be attractive, right? They want to not have to use adult sites. They want real women, right? Or whatever your orientation might be. So it's not necessarily true that once you get there and you have all that you wanted, that's going to free you of that kind of addiction. I guess I just can't relate because I don't understand what it's like to have a crippling addiction like that, of that nature anyway. I mean, I'm trying my hardest to understand why anyone would spend that sort of money on fake stuff. I mean, it's all fake, right? Yeah, and we take the mick out of these people that spend money on OnlyFans. I don't know if it's particularly OnlyFans, but whatever, right? Anyone that's spending money on that, what are you doing? Like, you must have money to blow, but even if you did have money to blow, there's so many better ways you could spend it than that. Like, even irresponsible ways. You know, it's just like, he's a massive simp for cam girls. It's kind of pathetic. Like, God, I feel really bad saying this because, like, I don't want to be harsh, or I don't want to come off as like completely disparaging to the guy, because that's not the point of this. again, I think it's good that he's being open about that he's got this addiction, and then he's spending 5 figures on these kind of things. That I think is helpful to people to raise awareness that it's a problem. But I mean, how to shatter your idea of someone, right? Everyone will go around thinking, oh, this guy's so strong and he's got loads of muscles and he's famous and he's got loads of money, he must have all the women, right? And he must have no problems in his life and he must be just this big alpha dude. Well, it turns out he's not. And to be fair, no one is, right? No one is this bigger than life person. So again, try not to be harsh on the guy, because I do think it's good that he's come out about it. But what do we learn from this? If anyone's thinking that becoming famous and becoming rich in the fitness industry or in any industry, no matter how much you think that ties into attractiveness and being accepted by whoever gender you want to attract, it has absolutely no correlation on your addictions and problems. I mean, the only thing I can think is that maybe the guy is so obsessed with it that he prefers it over real people, right? What a sad reality. Knowing that should be enough for anyone who is addicted to this kind of thing to sort of put their head up out of the water and go, whoa, like, what, I like that more than I like actual real people. As in, like, if I had all these options in front of me, if I had everything I wanted and I could have it, I'd still choose the virtual stuff. That's what he's doing. I mean, I don't know if it's choosing and whether it's either or, but my point is, like, this should be a big wake-up call for anybody in that kind of thing. And it showed me, like, just how crazy this situation is with some people. I mean, I guess logically it should have been obvious, right? Because there's a billion dollar industry focused around it, right? So there's clearly a lot of money going in, and there can't be that much money if it's all poor people doing it and unsuccessful people doing it. There's going to be addicts at the top of the chain, as it were, that are funding this. So, and I'm not saying the whole industry is a bad thing in total, but I mean, maybe it is. Maybe there's a longer discussion to have about that. It's not what I'm saying now, though. My point now is, yeah, be mindful that people that seem to have made it don't always, live the lives that you think, and don't think that becoming jacked and in crazy shape is going to solve all your problems, and don't think that being the world's best powerlifter, he's not the world's best powerlifter, but some very, very record-breaking specimen of an individual is going to get rid of all your problems, and becoming big on YouTube is not going to solve all your problems. Like, people's problems persist and they just get worse with success. So how do you even... I wish the guy well, and I hope that he can get over this, because what a waste. What a complete waste of money, and a waste of his time, his blood and sweat that has gone into creating his life and his financial resources. I mean, in this video I was watching about a situation, the guy was talking about he couldn't even afford to buy his dream house, and it was like 1.5 million or something. I can't remember the exact number, but it was a fairly expensive house. But for someone like him, it should have been like pay for it in cash, right? The guy should be earning millions, but apparently he's spending all of it on this stuff. Like, what? Trying to provide interesting commentary rather than just pure emotional reaction. But it's hard because you just think, what on earth is the guy doing? So you just want to like get over him and shake him and go like, stop doing this. What is the answer? I don't know, but I know what the lesson is. Your problems don't go away when you're famous, and being super famous and super rich and having lots of options in the dating market does not mean that you're not going to stop watching adult sites or being reliant on them. I think there's a separate part of the brain that it must activate that only it can satisfy. So I wish the guy well. Please, Larry Wheels, sort your shit out. And maybe if you do that, it can be a good lesson for your audience and hopefully pull other people about that same problem. Cool. That's about it. See ya.